How does a reading usually start? With a good intuitive, not with just somebody that you pick up off the internet and you hope it goes well. Here are the things you need to know. When you schedule with an intuitive, ask them how long the reading will go. A lot of times they have a time limit. I don't put a time limit on mine because I've learned over time that sometimes the dead have a lot to say. Sometimes they don't. The reading goes as long as it goes. It's okay if other intuitives have time limits though, but try to make it at least 30 minutes, at least, because you need at least that amount of time to really get into the meat of what it is that you want to know. Second, you should not be telling them anything. If they give you a questionnaire to fill out ahead of time, find somebody else. You're paying them to tell you things they don't know. You're not paying them to learn everything they can about you and then regurgitate it back to you as if it's spoken by the ether or your loved one who's crossed before you. When you make your appointment, you show up or you call and you sit down to talk. The only thing the intuitive should ask you is maybe small talk. How's your week going? That kind of just gives us a chance to connect with you. It's like that icebreaker question at the beginning of an interview. After that, the intuitive should be able to tell you very specific things. So if you're going to see an intuitive, it's usually either I want information about what's going on in my future, say a job or a relationship, or I have a loved one who's crossed or loved ones who've crossed and I would like to get in touch with them. Often a good intuitive is going to know which one of those it is, or both, before you ever sit down. That's all the information they theoretically should need. The only question an intuitive should be asking you during your reading is, does this make sense? Do you know who I'm talking about? That's our way of checking in to make sure that we're still connected to the information that is for you. Sometimes with readings, the dead bring other dead, or the other people come in that maybe the person wasn't expecting to hear from. So we check in every now and then to make sure that we're actually staying connected to the people that you want to talk to. That's just quality control. That's okay. Questions that are not okay. Does the color blue mean anything? I'm getting an M name. All of us know Mike. I'm sorry. He had gray hair. He looks elderly. She walked with a cane. If those are the only specific things that they're telling you, they're grabbing at straws. If somebody crossed, chances are they're old. If the person you want to speak to specifically wasn't old, say they died in their 20s or 30s, chances are you have a grandparent or a great-grandparent, and it's easy to say, there's somebody here with a cane, or there's somebody here with gray hair, or there's someone who died of cancer. It should be specific. I'm getting stomach issues. Was there cancer of the stomach or colon? Remember, the dead are us. If it's a good intuitive, they're communicating with the person who died, who 9 times out of 10 knows what they died of. Sometimes they don't know what they died of, but for the most part, they can say, my stomach really hurt. I don't know what that was. And then the family's like, oh, they died of stomach cancer. But the answers that they give you need to be very specific. And there's no reason at all why they shouldn't be if they're a good intuitive. If they can't do all of that within the first 5 or 10 minutes, I would leave. Chances are they're going to ask you to pay some kind of a cancellation fee. It shouldn't be the amount that they originally charge. Most good intuitives charge $200, $150, $200 a reading. The only things I charge for just because they aren't usually related to safety. They're entertainment. As a little side note, you often can't get in touch with someone who's died recently. I've explained this. When people die, we go to our funerals, we seem to hang around for a month or so, and then we go behind a place where intuitives can't usually see them. We can't usually reach them. We can see them, but it's like they're behind a frosted glass. I've always thought that was like a debrief. They're learning about their life and what was my impact and what did I get right, what could I work on, that type of thing. After they finish that process, it takes a few months, then they can come and go as they please. And that's that's where you want to be. You want to be able to come back and visit if you want to, but you're still moving on to whatever comes next. So just rules. If you're gonna pay somebody for reading, there are lots of charlatans out there that absolutely will just try to pick up things based on what you look like or what they assume you are, that are really good empaths and are picking up on things about your life, but aren't really actually connecting to the dead either, or wherever all that information comes from that we get. So there's some free advice from a psychic.